You are entering the cosmos.
Hello, cadets. This is General Lemuel T. Howizter, retired. Welcome to another episode of the Big Monster Briefing Room. Cadet Phipps is here. Very good. Hope you'll be tagging people. Very good. Let's bring up my able-bodied assistant, Ms. Millie Hazzard. Major Millie Hazzard. Oh, you got your NASA jacket on.
Yes, this is my favorite jacket. You know, the weather has changed. And so it's a little chilly. And so I'm so proud of my service, you know, for the country, which I did during, you know, the shuttle project and all of these things. But I did a lot at NASA that I can't speak about. So please don't ask me.
Okay.
That's for the public security.
I was going to ask you about Challenger, but I won't.
You can't ask me about Challenger. I mean, you could ask me and I could tell you, but then we wouldn't see you around anymore, General. And
you'd have to kill me.
There would be consequences to my actions. So I don't want to do it. But it's a very wonderful. We wouldn't see you around, and I'm not implying anything, but you know, I'm just saying. So this is my favorite jacket, and I love it, and of course, I'm very proud. And we got the red, white, and blue over here, and
get closer to the camera.
The eagle. It's a very beautiful thing. So thank you for noting it, and you'll be seeing it for the rest of this season until spring, most likely, because I don't want to take it off. I just love it. I love it so much. Everybody loves the space race. You know, remember the space race and all of that, and now all the intrigue and all the beautiful things. But of course, as we've learned from these training films, there's a lot of monsters in outer space. You know, so we're the last defense, not just of the borders and not just of the planet, but also beyond into the galaxy.
Just the green slime alone. Yeah. It's messy, nasty.
Exactly.
What the hell is going on with Elon Musk? You know, since we're going down this road, I thought he was all about the space, you know, getting to Mars and everything. And now he's buying up Twitter.
He's got too many irons in the fire, and the people close to him need to tell him, Elon, you need to focus, you need to calm down. You're fucking up a lot of shit right now. Pardon my French, my Yonkers French. That's how we talk in Yonkers. It's very official to talk that way, you know. But anyways, my point is that Elon, you got to settle down. You got to settle down. And you got, hello, Pan. We love you, Cadet Pan. But Elon, you got to settle down, okay? You got to focus on one thing at a time. You're overreaching, and when you overreach like that, you're probably not doing any one thing very well. Let's just focus on Mars. Elon, in fact, you could go to Mars. You could go to Mars yourself. We'll see you in about 7 years. It's okay.
And again, a lot of people are not happy about him taking over Twitter, especially the employees. He's just kind of shaking things up. And again, he should be working on the rockets and Mars. You know,
which employees? He got rid of like 75% of them. There are no more employees. I think the employee is now just Elon and maybe a dog somewhere. That's who's left at Twitter. You know, we had 7,500 people working there. 7,500 people working there. Now there's like Elon and a dog. So, you know, that's what's going on Twitter. I don't know. There's some competitors out there.
I can see Elon punching in every morning. Yeah, I'm here. I'm running the whole show.
Well, he's there. It's just Elon on the. It's Elon on the sofa with the dog, and it's him just, you know, tweeting all day long. It's unfortunate because, you know, there was some real good stuff going on at that place. But now you can go to Mastodon. Anyone who's interested can go to Mastodon and said, get yourself a Mastodon account. That's what I'm going to do.
Mastodon, isn't that a giant furry elephant?
It's a big monster, which is why I mention it. But it's also a competitor of Twitter, and it tends to not have Elon or Donald Trump on it. So that tends, because Trump got his account back, you know, Trump's going to be fucking shit up there again. He's back. Well, Kanye's back. They're all back.
Well,
everybody's back.
Kanye. Oh my God. I didn't hear about Kanye. Anyway,
he's got his account back.
I heard that he gave Trump his account back, but he doesn't care. He's staying on True Social. He hasn't even Twittered yet.
If you go to the Twitter now, you see Elon and his dog on the couch, and you see Donald Trump and Ye. That's who's at Twitter right now. So unless unless you're interested in any of those things.
Okay. All right. So today, speaking of
I have
horror,
opinions. I have a lot of opinions. You push the right button here.
oh the swears, oh the swears. Speaking of horror, today's show, I like to call it the holiday family movie of the season. Oh,
it's a family. Oh, it's a family.
It's
movie.
a family
That's,
movie.
You know, rad ram.
Yes. Nice to see Tony here. Yeah, The Shining, the original Shining, by Stanley Kubrick. Now, here's a movie that was done by one of the best directors in the world, had one of the best stars in the world, Jack Nicholson, in it, and they remade it. What the hell?
They remade it with the guy from Wings. I don't know if anybody saw that. I don't know if anyone saw the guy from Wings doing it, but it wasn't quite as scary when they did it. You know, Nicholson is basically the main one who's scary. I'll tell you. Nicholson's scary just doing his own thing.
Why?
Well,
here's a movie where the kill count was only 2 people, and one of them was the killer, and it's still one of the most horrific movies, that come down the pike. So
the thing that
training
really
films, I should say.
The thing that really gets me is the janitor guy. You know, that was the biggest lead up of momentum to be just felled in a nanosecond. It was very disappointing for me. I'm still upset about it. I'm ornery about it, General.
They killed Hong Kong Phooey. He was the voice of Meadowlark on the old cartoons of the Harlem Globetrotters. The Harlem Globetrotters. Yeah. Hong Kong Phooey. Anyway,
he was the one hope they had, General. The one hope.
Super guy. My favorite take on Scatman Crothers' character in this was on the Simpsons, when Willie the groundskeeper shows up, gets action, and says, "I'm not good at this."
I remember that.
It's like he goes all that way. He takes an airplane. The stewardess is asking him about drinks. He takes one of those. He takes a car first. Then he gets into one of those snowmobile things, snow machine things. He gets there, and I mean, the minute he walks in the door, Jack Nicholson.
The minute he gets in the door. Now, The Simpsons did a spoof called The Shinning. Yes. And I don't know if anyone's. Yeah, it was called The Shinning. Bart had The Shinning.
Yes. So I want to tell the audience here that there are spoilers on this show. Spoilers. We do a timeline from the beginning of the movie to the very end of the movie, so you're going to see everything. It's in slides, and there's also adult content. Just Major Hazzard's language alone, you should keep
just me alone. I mean, just me having a pot of coffee and a hot cocoa.
But there's a woman, a naked zombie woman with her breast down to her stomach, and there's all kinds of gory stuff in this. So, Scatman Crothers gets an axe to the chest.
It's very upsetting.
You're going to see it today. So, put the kids to bed.
We're going to get into it. Yeah, I don't think the kids need to be seeing it. The 2 little twins in the hallway was enough for me as a kid to be traumatized for the rest of my life. But anyways.
Okay. And I see Cadet Joe is watching the show. Very good. All right, let's bring up our guest, our Stephen King expert, Miss Ruby Rae Moore.
Hello, Miss Ruby.
And her dog.
And Penny.
And Penny.
Yes, and Penny. Penny just loves Stephen King.
Oh, well, okay.
How are you
Especially
guys?
that nasty cat from Pet Cemetery.
Church.
Barks at it.
Church. Yeah.
So, we're talking about The Shining. The Shinning.
Shinning.
You don't want to get cooked for copyright, lad.
The
The Shinning. And the boy Daniel has what's called The Shining. And that's where you can actually hear things, and you kind of see things. You have visions. You can talk to other people that have The Shinning. Like Scatman Crothers when he's still alive. Talk to people about The Shining over ice cream. We're gonna get to that in a minute. So, how many times do you think you've seen this movie?
The Shining in my lifetime?
Yeah.
I mean, in my adult lifetime, at least a good 20. But as a kid, a bunch as a kid, but not really ever really understanding it.
Yeah.
There's still things that hey, Madeline, there are things that I catch now when I'm watching it, that I didn't pick up.
Yeah.
Still. So every time we watch it, and it's usually around Halloween, a big one that's on the TV. I feel like this year we didn't get a chance to watch it though.
Yeah, this is how Stanley Kubrick works. You watch a movie, 10 years later, and you see a whole bunch of stuff you didn't see the first couple of times you saw it.
Yeah.
He just layers it, And again, the use of this, and I don't know if there's really a hotel that has this motif, this decoration. I'd like to stay there, actually. But anyway, this thing is humongous. It's huge, and he really makes use of the space. The camera shots are all like really far away, and so you can see everything around these characters, and it just gives this expansive, like depressing, like, oh my God, they're all in this place by themselves, and it's huge, it's humongous, and it's just over. Yeah, so it's overpowering is what it is. You truly get the sense of like alone. You're alone in a big ass haunted hotel. So so let's go ahead and get to the timeline. I know you have to leave before 7:00, so we need to. This is a Warner Brothers movie.
No problem. I'll slip out.
Just slip out when you need to. We don't want to keep you from other things, from things that are important.
Ruby is a very, very popular woman. She's a star. Her star continues to rise, so she's got places to go and people to see, and that's okay. We understand. We're just grateful that she's
she's
here.
got a family thing, I think, right?
I'm going to be on Inspirational Arsenal. I double booked for Tuesday.
Oh,
yeah, she's going to be on stage again. You're going to get to see her there.
So their show's better than our show.
No,
I'm kidding.
It's at 7. She's just saying she's going to leave a few minutes early to get there.
We are pleased as punch to have you for as long as you can stay here.
Just for 46 minutes. Let's go.
No. So this is the opening shot of the movie. Again, that whole expansive, you get that big feeling, big outdoors. They take all the shots of the car driving to the hotel from a distance with a helicopter. And it's the first thing we see is a Stanley Kubrick film.
Now Kubrick got the effects that he wanted from the actors in this movie, but he was a little heavy-handed sometimes with some of his methodology to get the desired effect of terror and fear and abuse. So it's very controversial, though. His methods, was maybe a little bit too much.
He was very protective of the boy. The boy didn't even know he was making a horror movie until after it was done.
I didn't know that. Okay.
But Shelley Duvalle, different story.
Shelley Duvalle suffered the rest of her life because of this. So we do need to keep in mind that she did suffer.
All the time you see her crying and scared, it's real. I mean, he's doing shit to her that's just making her miserable. And she didn't talk about it for many years. And I think she did. Did she do Popeye before? It was the same year, 1980. Did she film Popeye before this or after? I'm wondering.
I thought it was after. I thought it was
probably after. Okay. Well, she was darn near traumatized.
Yes.
Of course, it's based on the book by Stephen King.
Yes.
And again, all through these credits, you're seeing that little car, a little Volkswagen, making its way up to this lodge, which is supposed to be in Oregon, I believe. The middle of nowhere. So we get the first title. The title cards in this thing are crazy because sometimes it's days, sometimes it's a month later, sometimes it's the interview. They can't make up their mind, what they want on the title cards. And one time it says 4:00 in the PM. What the hell? Keep it uniform. So anyway, he meets up with Barry Nelson, who's playing Ullman. His name is Ullman. For the interview. And while that's happening, we see Shelley Duvalle reading A Catcher in the Rye. I don't know if you caught that. And
it's very noted, yes. Of course, that was the book that John Mark Chapman was reading when he killed John Lennon. So it's got an ominous tone to it.
I did not know that. So Holden Caulfield, yeah. The boy is eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He has a thing going on with his finger talking. That's Tony. Tony tells him things. So he calls his shining Tony. So Barry Nelson, you probably don't recognize him. He's done a lot of stuff. He's done a lot of movies and TV. He is the first James Bond. He played Jimmy Bond on an episode of Climax in the late 50s that was based on Casino Royale. And he was an American Bond, and Felix Leiter was the British character. So they flipped him. And he is the very first James Bond before Sean Connery played it. And Nicholson, of course, is just pure Nicholson in this. Look at those eyebrows. Well, yeah.
The crease.
I don't know who the guy in the middle is. He's just there. They don't even say who he is, what he is. He's just there.
Human resources. HR.
Tony is telling Daniel that the shit's about to hit the fan. And he says his dad has already got the job. He's going to call his mom. And that's the creepy part in this scene, is that's exactly what happens right after. Hey, honey, I got the job. So, yeah, he's starting to see visions already of what's going to happen in the next couple of months. And he's not liking it. Tony, stop it. The hall of blood, the blood pouring out of the elevator. Him screaming when his dad chops the chef. Closing day. They're driving up there again to the hotel, and Danny tells them that he knows what cannibalism is. They're having a conversation in the car, and Danny goes, "I saw it on TV," and that seems to please Jack Nicholson. It seems to please Jack Torrance, his father. Yeah, see, honey, he knows about cannibalism. He knows all about it. So they go up again. Nice long shot, expansive shot of that hotel. And Ullman shows them around. Everybody's packing up to leave. This is the last day. And they got to watch over the hotel. Now, note the pictures on the walls all over the lobby there and around the gold room. That's where he goes to drink. Danny is playing darts. That's how he's amusing himself. And, of course, the two little girls, creepy girls, show up. And they're watching him. And they want to play with him. He shows them the snowmobile. What do they call that? A snow blower? No, not a snow blower. But it's like a little tank that goes over the snow. And he goes, if you can drive a car, you'll be able to drive this, no problem. So that's good to know. And then they meet the chef. Halloran is his name. And he shows them where he hangs his meat. Yeah. And he shows them the storage room where they keep all the canned goods and Oreos and crackers and things. And this is important because somebody has to live in here for a little while. And then during this scene, he talks to Danny, but he's not really moving his lips. He's not really moving his mouth. And Danny's freaking out because he just said something to him. You want ice cream? And he is, he just heard it in his head. That's The Shining. He explains over the ice cream. That's The Shining. And he says, if he needs help, just call. So here we are a month later. Very quiet out. And Danny's got his big wheel out. Danny's using the big wheel. And again, we get a real feeling of this expansive hotel as he's wheeling around this hotel. She's making him breakfast in bed. That's nice. He's slept in. He goes, I got to get to my work. I got to start writing that book. It's not going to write itself. So he's looking at that typewriter. And not much has happened. So he starts throwing a ball around. Outside, she wanted Jack to come with them, go for a walk in the maze, but he's decided he wants to work. So she takes Danny through the maze, and this is good because they learn the maze. And Jack is still throwing the ball. And then this is interesting how they did this. He looks over a model of the maze, and the next shot you see is actually an aerial shot of the actual maze, and Danny and his mom are walking in the center of it. They have made it to the center of the maze where the stone benches are. So that's kind of impressive.
Really cool.
So, kind of a freak out. Yeah. Tuesday. Business as usual outside the hotel. Nothing going on. Danny's back on his big wheel again. But he passes, and this is what Scatman Crothers Halloran tells him: stay out of room 237. Don't go in room 237 because that room is haunted.
Which is
Little girls were like, "Yeah, go in. We want to play with you forever. Go in." So he tries the door and it's locked. So he can't get in. So he just decides to move on. Look at that orange and red and brown carpet, will you? They don't make them like that anymore.
It's great. It's a great background for someone who doesn't know it, you know, or someone who does know it, and you see it and you recognize it and you're like, aha. Yeah.
That's the shining carpet. So Jack is busy, hard at work, writing his new novel. And Wendy comes up. And he's not happy. She has interrupted him while he's trying to work. And she's just, you know, checking on him, making sure everything's okay, you know, doing the wife thing, you know, being a nice, good wife. Did I not make you breakfast in bed? Hey, can you just not interrupt me while I'm here working? And he's already starting to snap. So again, we know that it's only been like a month. And this is like 33 minutes in the movie, and he's already snapping. I mean, it's very evident that he's kind of losing it. So they go out there and they play in the snow. Wendy and Danny. And yeah, Jack is not well. He's just not well. You can see it. He's do you think he's possessed? Do you think that's part of it? Yeah.
Or he's on the way to it.
Yeah. But yeah, so soon. Again, this is only like 33 minutes into the movie.
Slowly going.
So yeah, bad snow outside. It's a blizzard outside. And there that's what I'm talking about right there. Look at that expansive shot showing Jack's work area from the stairs. Just makes you feel isolated, really isolated. So she checks the phone lines. The phone lines are down. The storm has knocked out the phone lines. So she's not happy about that. She goes and checks the radio to the police station. She gets a police officer. He's like, oh, yeah, there's lots of lines down. Oh, yeah. So I don't think that was an Oregon accent, but there it is. That's Stephen King. Most of his stuff takes place in Maine. He writes what he knows.
Right.
Oh, gosh. Oh, gee. Sometimes dead is better. Danny's back out on his big wheel again, and he runs into the girls again. They won't leave him alone. We want to play with you forever.
Poor kid.
And he's like, no. This child actor, by the way, nice bloody girls with the axe. This child actor did a phenomenal job in this movie. He's 6 years old. 6.
Wow.
He only made one movie after this, and then he told his parents, I really don't want to make movies anymore.
I wouldn't either. But
yeah.
He said
no, he didn't
realize he was making a horror movie.
Yeah, he didn't know he was making a horror movie on this. He just they just shot him, wheeling around the hotel place. I mean, he did have to scream a couple of times or look like he was screaming. I don't think he actually screamed, but he looked like he had the face.
Yeah.
That's the face, the shining face.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Come back to me laughing at that.
So, yeah. So, yeah, he's freaking out, and the Tony's telling him, yeah, it's shit's going down. Monday! Wait a minute, wasn't it just Tuesday? Hold on.
I know. Back and
It was like a
forth.
week later. So Danny checks on his father. His father just hasn't been looking good lately. And he's like, come on over here, son. I want to talk to you.
Right.
Yeah. And actually a very touching scene at first. Until we get to that second picture there. Then he starts looking like Jack Nicholson. You're not scared, are you, Danny? You ain't scared of me, are you?
Yes, I
That's your
am.
mom telling you you're scared of me. Wednesday. Still snowing. I got to point out that this kid has a lot of pink cars, and that worries me. I don't know why, but he's got a lot of pink cars. He's got a pink construction like thing over on the right there, and a lot of pink cars. But then again, the camera pans out to show that carpet again, and how alone he is. And he looks down the hallway, and he sees that room 237 is open. His mom is downstairs. She's doing the job that Jack should be doing, making sure that the hotel doesn't freeze up. And all of a sudden, he's at his desk. He's falling asleep, and he's screaming. He's screaming out loud. She hears him. She goes running. She goes running up there to see what's going on, what's happening. And she finds him, and he falls out of his chair, and he's drooling, and he says, "I had a terrible, horrible dream that I hacked you and Daniel up with a hatchet, with an axe." That's something you want to tell your wife.
Terrible dream.
That's not just a terrible dream, honey. That's an omen.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to hear it.
Yeah, really. So Danny comes in, and he's got marks on his neck. Because he was just up in room 237. And the mother sees it, and she freaks out. She gets all protective, and she's like, "You did this." Because he told her that he just had a dream that he hacked him to death with, an axe.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you say that? Why wouldn't she think that?
For real.
So, yeah. And he's like, what the... why are you pointing the finger at me? I didn't do anything, but
he has a history, right? A history of kind of losing his cool.
Just in this, I think. I mean, there's nothing that says. I mean, yeah, in other movies, we're gonna watch the World Series.
And maybe I'm thinking about it in the book because this is
again, the book is very different from the movie.
Yeah,
that's what I'm told.
Very different.
So he finds the gold room, which is that's the bar. It's the local lounge. And he goes in, and of course it's empty, as it should be. And he goes and he sits at the bar and he starts looking around, and then boom, a bartender's there. Hey.
Mm-hmm.
The bartender's name is Lloyd. Lloyd. How you doing, Lloyd? So he gives him a drink, supposedly, and then Wendy comes in. She goes, Danny said there was a crazy woman up in 237. And at that time, we get to see the artwork that's in Scatman Crothers' apartment, because he is there in his apartment in Miami. And he's got a lot of nude black women up on his walls. Dirty old man.
Anybody watching, find me those posters for my walls, please.
This is definitely, that's actually more like a 1974, but the early 70s was when they did the blaxploitation films, and you would see women with hair like that.
I just love it. I think
and men with hair like that. But this is 1980. Oh. So maybe this is a period piece. Maybe this is supposed to have happened in the early 70s. I don't know. But anyway, The Shining happens. He gets The Shining, and he realizes Danny is in danger. So
he's like, I gotta go.
The key is in the door, 237. Jack goes in, and lo and behold, there is a naked woman in the bathroom.
Oh, so scary.
She's very attractive.
Mm-hmm.
She slowly steps out of the tub. She goes up to Jack. He's not walking away. She's kissing him, and then he looks in the mirror, and he sees this nasty old zombified woman.
He's rotten.
That he just kissed in the mirror, and he backs up, and he's and she's like,
I can't.
My boobs are down to my kneecaps.
It happens.
Creepy. So when he's like, what happened? What'd you say? Nothing. He's not going to tell her that he just kissed a zombie woman.
Right?
So she's like, well, hey, we need to get out of here. It's just like you to come up with an excuse to make me look bad. He's just going off on her. And at that time, Danny is seeing visions of what's going to happen. He writes that word on the door, red rum, with mommy's lipstick, and he's freaking out. Jack was perfect for this role. He was, I can't see anybody else doing it now.
Mm-mm.
So yes, so he's back down at the gold room. And Lloyd is giving him a drink. He says, "Your money's not good here." Jack is feeling good, and then he bumps into a waiter who's got some avocado drinks. Can any of you think of what drink uses like avocados in it?
Are they juleps? Are they mint juleps?
I don't know. So they go to the bathroom so he can sponge off that nice red velvet jacket, and he finds out that the guy is actually Grady, the guy that supposedly killed his family, chopped them up with an axe, his 2 daughters and his wife, many years ago, 10 years ago.
Indeed.
And he says, your son is called in, Scatman Crothers. He doesn't say Scatman Crothers. I'll tell you that right now. What, are you kidding me? And he also tells him he better get his wife and son in check, basically. So now we're seeing Grady. At first he plays dumb. He plays like, I have no idea what you're talking about, son. So Jack goes to the radio, the only thing that's working there, and he pulls out one of the chips of the radio so it doesn't work anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, on a plane from Florida going to Oregon, Scatman Crothers is in the coach section. Halloran. And Wendy finds Jack's typewriter alone. And she looks to see what he's writing. Because wives are curious that way. They want to see what's going on. And it's all... What's that?
It's my favorite part of the movie.
All work and no play make Jack a dull boy. And it's done with all these little variations. Sometimes it's done, in sentences across the page. Sometimes it's done in little paragraphs. Sometimes it's done in like shapes. Sometimes, one word is different. It's just a little off, like he's misspelled it or something. I mean, and it's just tons and tons and tons of pages. That's all it is.
The whole
all
book.
work and no play. Like Bart Simpson's chalkboard. It's never ending.
Mm-hmm. Word.
It's distressing. So yeah, she's crying here. She's like, oh my God, he's unhinged. And she's got a bat. And yeah, all of this is real. I mean, they terrorize this poor woman for this movie. Thank God she got Popeye to put her back on track again. Get sane again.
I think she needed the fairy tale theater to do that.
Little Ronnie, hey, Robin Williams. Oh, hey, I heard you were working with Jack Nicholson. Oh, I don't want to talk about it. So she goes around the room with him, and he's telling her, "You just want me to look bad. I've got an obligation here. Do you realize if we leave here, And she's swinging him with the bat as they get on the stairs, because now he's getting too close. Give me the bat, Wendy. Give me the freaking bat, Wendy. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to beat your goddamn brains in. Oops, did I say that out loud? And she hits him. She clunks him a couple of times, and he ends up falling down the stairs. Which, rightfully so. So there he is. He's made it down to the second landing there. How does this differ from the book? I'm going to ask you because we're ahead of schedule, I think.
I could not even tell you at this point. There's just
so many things.
It seems it's all confusing to me, and it always has been. We've even been to the Stanley Hotel for a tour. And is
that the name of the real hotel?
The Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado.
Oh, okay.
And this is the hotel that they shot this movie in, or if they just shot the other movie in. It's all confusing to me, Rory. I'm a busy ass mom. I don't know this shit. I just know
all
that
right.
I enjoy it, and
okay.
I have it time and again.
I'll have to look it up.
It's been years since I read the book, though. Legit, at least 20 years since I read the book.
Oh,
so.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to put you on the spot. So now she drags him into the not the cooler, but the storage area there where they got all the cookies and the pickles and stuff like that. And she grabs a knife, which is smart. she's better than Laurie Strode in this because she hangs onto that knife for the rest of the movie. She does not drop it at once.
No, but it looks like it's so loosely fit in her hand the whole time. Yeah. Her hands are so frail looking, you know? Like
you don't know how to hold a knife.
She does a lot of like this, you know, like but without any sort of power behind it. It's just a lot of like it's not particularly effective, I don't think.
No, it makes you think as soon as she goes
he does cut his hand when he's trying to reach in through to open the door. She does cut his hand later. There's the great undershot of Nicholson as he's telling her, hey, what do you check and find out what I did to the radio and the snow thingy?
You ruined
and she's
it
like,
all.
so she goes and looks. Made you look. And yeah, he's cut the distributor cap off the snowmobile. And yeah, he's ruined the radio. 4 p.m. We must be getting close to something because it's 4 p.m.
Yeah.
And he's woken up while he's in there. He was eating some Oreos and some crackers, and he fell asleep. Made a nice little bed for himself out of the bags of rice, I guess. And he's woken up. And it's the voice of Mr. Grady. Mr. Grady is like, we are very disappointed. She is obviously proven to be much more intelligent than you. Much more, damn it, I can't think of the word now. Anyway, she's smarter than him. So he's like, well, I'll fix that if you help me get out of here. And the door opens.
Ooh.
The ghosts let him out. Halloran is getting close. He's getting near. Yeah.
There's a lot of build up here. He goes through a lot. He comes from all the way from Miami, all the way across the continental United States just to get there. And I'm very upset about the plot point here, but we'll get to it.
Yeah, I mean, if he's got The Shining, can he not see Nicholson swinging at him with it?
Can he not use The Shining?
Can he not see that Nicholson is hiding behind that column?
It is very frustrating. They should have, I mean, as long as the movie was, they could have added some extra time to at least allow him to engage in combat a little longer. It's just frustrating.
But to his credit, he does bring the snow blower thingy that gets them out of there, that they end up escaping it.
That's very true. He was effective at what he needed
at
to
least do. It was worth it that he showed up because unfortunately, even though he died, he saved the two of them. So, all right. So Danny writes on the door there, the red rum. He keeps saying red rum with his Tony finger.
Mm-hmm.
And finally he starts yelling it, and his mom finally gets up. She must be a heavy sleeper. And she hugs him and looks over his shoulder into the mirror and sees red rum. It's murder. My kid's writing murder on the doors. Did you use my lipstick? I'll beat your ass. But at that time, before she gets to beat his butt, Jack is at the door knocking. And he's not just knocking. He's got an axe. He's plowing through that door with an axe. Honey, I'm home. So they go into the bathroom, and there's a window, a very small window.
The tiniest window ever.
Well, here's the thing. The kid can go through the window. He's got all kinds of jackets and stuff on. He goes through zip zap. But Shelley Duvalle, one of the thinnest women in Hollywood, the woman who played Olive Oil for a reason, she can't get through the window. So I thought that was kind of strange. But there it is. She can't get through the window. Okay, take your coat off, honey, and then throw your coat out the window.
Your shoulders through the
window.
And
then slip through the window and put your coat back on.
I'm thinking her hips are just as narrow as her shoulders.
Yeah, does Shelley Duvalle have a bigger butt than we realize?
I don't know.
She can't get her tush through the window? I don't know.
I don't know.
So anyway, he's made it through that door. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I said I get hung up at the neck. I'm no one to judge.
And again, they did not tell her he was going to be cutting through the door with an axe. So this is real screaming and horror. And yeah, honey, here's Johnny.
Terrible.
Now you see, she does cut his hand there when he's trying to open the door. So
Yeah,
she is, even with those little pansy slashes, she's doing some damage. That face Jack makes, yes. Wait till he get a load of me.
You're scary.
Yeah, that's the Jack Nicholson face. So they hear something outside. Is that a snowmobile? Is that one of them snow grating things?
Oh no.
So Jack runs out. Halloran comes in the front door and he's yelling, Danny, anybody here?
Oh,
He's making it very clear that where he is. So Jack knows exactly where to go. And of course, Danny comes back inside because he's worried about his mom, and he ends up hiding in the kitchen. And not very smart, but again, I can understand it. The kid's worried about his mom. And of course, Jack sees him when he comes out of his hiding place because The Shining freaks him out. You know, so he sees the death of his friend who they had ice cream together. And so Jack chases him. And meanwhile, this is the weirdest part of the movie. Shelley Duvalle, Wendy, I should say, is going around the hotel and she's seeing all these crazy visions. Evidently, she has the shinning too, because she's seeing all these crazy visions. She sees an open door to a room and there's a guy in a bulldog outfit blowing another guy. I mean, that's what it is.
that's Stanley Kubrick.
That's exactly what it is. What's that?
I said, that's Stanley Kubrick for you.
Yeah, you know.
Like that in his movies.
So Jack turns on the lights in the maze because the boy's gone outside. He wants a little more light to see if he can find the boy out there. Smart move. And chases him. He sees him going into the maze. All right. This is the beginning of the end right here. And of course, he's making footprints, a lot of big footprints, Danny, and Jack is just following him. I'm coming for you, Danny. I'm going to get you, Danny. Oh, Danny boy, the pipes, they're calling. All right. Yes, he's nuts. So, and then she comes out. She sees Scatman Crothers dead. How did he get here? Did he take a plane? She sees the party goer. Lovely Potter. So she's freaking out. Jack is pretty sure he's going to catch the kid, but he doesn't realize the kid is really resourceful. That's the word I was looking for earlier, resourceful. He is even more resourceful than his mother because he backtracks on his steps. This kid is brilliant.
Yes.
And then he goes through the hedge and he covers up his footprints going to the hedge so that Jack is going to follow his footprints, 20 feet farther in the snow, and then they're going to disappear. And he's not going to know where the kid is at all. And the kid can double back, again, running on both their footprints, and just brilliant. And that's what happens. He goes back to the beginning. He knows exactly how to get back to the beginning because the footprints are there for him. His mom comes outside. She sees him coming out just in time. Oh, my baby. They give a nice big hug. And they're like, hey, snowblower thing, let's go. Let's leave Daddy here to freeze.
And
Rotten bastard. And yeah, he hears it. He's like, really? And he just sits down there. He realizes it's over. He sits down there and he freezes.
he just
Now
freezes
yeah, he freezes. Now there is a debate going on out there that this might be Jack Nicholson or it might be a dummy that looks like Jack Nicholson because oh my God, I'm trying to think of his name. The makeup artist for The Godfather, American Werewolf in London, Dick Smith. Dick Smith did the makeup for this movie. So he did the old lady makeup, he did all the makeup for the movie. So it's not out of the realm that he would create something like this. I do know that there are pictures of a plank, a wooden plank that they either had Jack Nicholson sit against or they had this dummy sitting against.
Okay, to them nice and stiff.
But again, it's never been confirmed whether it's Nicholson or a dummy.
You got to ask Jack Nicholson. You got
Nicholson's the only one that can confirm it, and he's not answering.
Oh,
because Stanley Kubrick's long gone. So the end of the movie, look at this. We're at 45 minutes. Look at that. The end of the movie, they have that sweeping camera move coming in towards those pictures by the gold room.
oh yeah.
Starts really far away, and it pans on up there to the pictures right by the front door.
Yeah.
And it keeps on panning in until you see a picture in the middle towards the bottom.
Oh,
And
yeah.
there's a familiar face in that picture. Hey,
Yeah.
folks, it's me back in 1927.
The bartender, right?
Could be.
I can't remember. I can't remember how I thought they show him as like.
I would think that it's some previous version of Jack. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember. Dennis DeFlumery has taken a picture from that wall and put, SDFers' faces in their spots.
Yes.
It's a great.
Yes.
He's-
Dennis does great graphics. He really
Put it
does.
out there.
It's fantastic graphics. So yeah, it's July 4th ball in the Overlook Hotel, 21. I'm sorry, not 27, 21. So, and that's how the movie ends. Then you got the credits. There wasn't a lot of people in this movie, not a lot of actors. There wasn't this movie was probably made for next to nothing because they're in a hotel. I'm guessing they made this for less than Star Wars. Star Wars, it was like $8 million, I think, to make Star Wars. And that was in 77. 77.
Seems like a lot
So-
to make a movie with only a handful of actors.
Yeah, well, there it is. So, all right. Well, this is The Shining. There is no General Howitzer on Thursday. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your families. I hope it's much better than this family. There's not as much trouble. And let's bring up Major Hazzard one last time. Say goodnight.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And thank you, Ruby. Ruby's going to be heading out to another engagement. We're so grateful that we had her. She's wonderful.
Thank you for joining us again. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Always love having you.
Thanks.
That's right.
It's fun to come on.
So we'll have to do Pet Cemetery soon.
I know more about that one because that was that was my generation, and I actually remember reading the book. So
Maximum Overdrive.
I love that too. That's such a great short story. I love that. His short stories are something. They're really something. I love them.
If you get a chance, since you're such a Stephen King fan, look up Creep Show, the TV show, which has just been a couple of years ago, like 2019, 2020. You've seen it. So you've seen the one about the father who drinks the beer with the mold in it.
Yes, it's like one of the first episodes.
Yes, I think it is the first episode actually.
Yeah, I love
it. It's got Adrian Barbeau in it. It's got Giancarlo Esposito in it. It's got the guy that from the Saw movies. I can't remember his name right offhand. It's got a lot of really good actors in it and wonderfully done.
It does. It's great. What is it? It's on the Shudder network, right? Or it's on A&E?
I think it's on Shudder. Yeah.
I've got whenever they offer a special, I'll get it and I'll catch up on the season I've missed. It's a great show. I love that stuff.
And you get the ending from that you don't get in the story.
No.
with the invasion, the takeover. Also, there's a one that he did that I saw with the girl's dollhouse that has the little dead figures in it.
Yes, that
is
so
super creepy.
That is a real messed up one, and she keeps coming back, and the dolls are kind of moved around and all.
Man,
really
and just super creepy. That is classic Stephen King right there. All right. So again, thank you so much for joining us on this Thanksgiving week. We hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving.
Happy
Much love to
Thanksgiving,
all
everybody.
of you. And keep an eye out for those ghosts and big monsters.